What's up, everybody? On today's episode, we're talking about the best series since Stranger Things on Netflix. That's right, we're talking about Umbrella Academy. I'm Jeremy Miller.
Max Gaber.
Mariah Martell.
And Michael Harness.
And this is Flicks and Six. What's up, everybody? As we said up top today, we are talking about the Umbrella Academy, which is a Netflix original series, 10 episodes, and we are going to give our minute-long review, spoiler-free, Max.
Yeah, sorry.
And then hang around after the minutes, and we're going to get into more of why we gave the letter grades that we gave. Sound good, everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Mariah wants to go first. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, you got a minute on the clock in 3, 2, 1. Mariah.
So I give this a B+. It's kind of teetering between A- and B+. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And the characters I thought were all very odd but engaging, and something hasn't kept me this excited and engaged in a incredibly long time. So I was super excited about it. I give it a B+ because there is a little piece that is somewhat predictable. So that's the only reason why it's not A+, but I loved it.
Boom. 20 seconds to spare. Well done.
Short and sweet.
All right, Max, you're up. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Maxwell.
So I give this a B+ as well. I thought the characters were really well done. I thought the world they created was fascinating, although sometimes it didn't make sense to me. I ding it a little bit because the story was a little predictable. And there are some story elements that anytime in like a sci-fi kind of genre you do that, there's a lot of things that can go wrong that we'll probably get into a little bit later. Stylistically, I thought some of the shots were just amazing that they did. Mm-hmm. They went with a kind of retro sort of feel to the world, which I thought was really cool and done in a way that I hadn't seen a lot. Overall, I thought it was really good. One of the better series I've seen in a long time. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Fucking well done, Max. 8 seconds left, dude. Mike, you want me to go last or you want to go last?
I would rather not go last.
Okay, you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Sure.
3, 2, 1. Michael.
I'm going to give this an A-, just because I don't think anything would ever get an A+ for me. We'll see about Endgame. I don't know. That might be an A+, hopefully. But the only reason I give it an A- is because there's always room for improvement. But this has been the first Netflix show that I was engaged from the first 15 minutes. Like, I wanted more. We watched one episode. I was like, I need to see the rest of this, like, now. There were a couple characters that I was like, didn't really care. Well, actually, just one. Everyone else I thought was amazing. But yeah, I just thought it was an overall great show. I was very fascinated by it. I didn't really have any bad things to say.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well done. Oh my God. Everybody's setting the bar really high right now. Because I'm always the guy that goes over. Okay. Maxwell, count me down.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so I also give this an A-. The only A+ I've given on this show since its inception was mid-90s. See our episode on mid-90s. I give this an A- because, like Michael said, I love the story. There were predictable elements, of course, but I was actually also pleasantly surprised by a lot as well. So there were things that I saw coming, but there were a lot of things that happened that I did not see coming. I love the ensemble cast. I love it when, it's like the same reason I love the X-Men, right? Everybody has their own thing. Everybody works in their specific nuance in a really well done way in the X-Men. And so this felt like kind of a coming of age version of the X-Men, which, like, Jesus Christ, I want that. Mm-hmm. I want the coming of age for X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. And so for Sci-Fi, I thought it was really good. We're going to get into it a little bit more.
Oh, wow.
Damn, dude, right at the nick of time. See, I knew I was going to fucking... All right,
You're
anyways.
right there.
So that's our initial take. Okay, so everything from this point forward will have spoilers. So if somehow you're living under a rock and you have not seen the Umbrella Academy yet, A minus,
Yes.
B plus, B plus, A minus. So is this a recommend around the board?
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
Hard recommend.
Watch it
Yes.
immediately.
Hard recommend. Watch the show. Let's get into this thing. Spoiler alert. Okay, I think we've warned our audience enough. Okay, so everybody said things that I want to know more about.
Okay.
Okay, so I figure the best way for us to go about this is, instead of going through the plot and things like that, because from this point forward, I'm assuming that most of our audience has seen the show.
Probably.
So rather than dissecting the episodes, let's just talk about shit we liked and stuff we didn't like. So you said something,
Okay.
and so did you,
Okay.
and so did you, that I want to talk about, but I remember yours the most. So you said,
What?
I forgot.
I didn't really say anything like too crazy.
Oh.
Room for improvement? I don't know.
Well, okay. Yours, you said that there were problems with. God, dude, I am fucking
Like
not
a plot
here.
device in Sci-Fi?
Something in sci-fi. I want to hear you elaborate on that, Maxwell.
Okay.
To the mic, though.
Okay. As we're going now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
Let me
going
have it.
So in Sci-Fi, I feel like a lot of people use the plot device of time travel in a way that can get very problematic when you're talking about storytelling.
Especially if you're trying to assess realism.
Yeah, well, realism, and then so time travel can be used as a way to like retcon like story elements and things that happened a lot. And
Michael, did he lose you there?
Yes.
What's
Okay.
retcon?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Max, crack an egg of
Simplify.
knowledge.
retcon is like when you
Dumbify.
kind of go back and rearrange how a story was told. So like in the X-Men series, in the third one, how they kind of went back and changed, certain characters, or like when they change the actor that plays a character and don't really explain it, or get rid of a character, and
Like
then,
Dumbledore.
Yeah,
Yes. Or like in The Matrix with the Oracle.
yeah,
Oh,
Okay, so you know how it's same character but different person?
yeah. That's what retcon means?
yeah. Or they
Essentially.
can use it to like
Explain part of the story.
or change the world that they live in, but not really
Via
explain.
time travel.
It can be it that way.
Oh,
they'll
time
retcon-
travel is something that people use in movies or TVs to help explain why they did something.
that completely doesn't make sense in the story.
Right. Like, oh, you're back? Oh, but it's because we went back in a different time. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
got it.
It's kind of like
Very
like in-
flashy.
They do that in Magicians a lot.
They do that.
Yeah.
Except
So
they
it's
don't.
in any movie, right, where they need to like quickly explain some science, right?
Someone gets fired.
They
or something.
reverse the polarity. Right? Like they need to explain how something is done. So they're like, well, I reversed the polarity of the blah, blah, blah. And everyone like,
That's very Flash.
everyone's like, oh yeah, that sounds pretty legit, dude. That's legit science.
Or like if
right?
like a character, if an actor like gets fired, they have to like write him out or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
It's
alright.
using time travel as a way to explain
But
the otherwise
specifically time
unexplainable.
travel.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Max, continue.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
no, I
don't be.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, retcon is just a term to explain that, and time travel can be used to easily do that a lot. And time travel is such an amorphous concept that like it's hard. It doesn't have any defined boundaries of like what time travel can do. So some stories will use it in ways that don't make sense a lot of the time.
So how did that happen here for you?
Well, like one instance that kind of stuck with me was how in the beginning of the series he said like I aged to 50, but now I came back and I'm like 13 again. That didn't make sense to me when in other points of the story people don't really like reverse age or age forward when they time travel. So that was one thing that kind of stuck with me.
I have an
In
answer.
the show, though, he
explained.
To the mic.
said in the show he explained that something was
Got a
wrong with the
calculation wrong or something.
formula when he time traveled back, and that's why he de-aged.
Yeah. He explained it in the show.
Yeah,
Did he?
so basically with number 5, we're talking about number 5.
Oh,
Love
he's
you,
gonna
number
grow up to be a
5.
handsome man. He is. You see his jawline, that kid?
I wonder how old he is.
I love the giggle followed by the defense when I didn't say anything.
Yeah, it's like.
I guess my eyes said, no, he's not.
Yeah. But your giggle was like, yes.
Yeah. No, but so number 5. So the father, whose name is
Sir Reginald.
Reginald.
Yes. Tells number 5, no time traveling, little guy, because you don't know the calculations. You could get it wrong and end up getting stuck. He's like, fuck you, Dad. I do what I want. So he time travels and gets stuck. Which, remind me later, I have a point on that. But later, everybody else that's time traveling does so with the briefcase.
Yeah.
Right? They're using the briefcase to bounce around through time. And so what I took from it was number 5, came back at a younger age because he fucked up the calculations going forward, coming back. Whereas the other people don't need to worry about calculations because they got the briefcase.
Yeah. I mean,
But still, like,
It's a delicate thing, time travel. Yeah.
listen, if you get into does it work or not work, it'll ruin everything.
Yeah, we don't have to go there.
No,
Yeah.
like Back to the Future, one of my all-time favorite fucking movies.
Yeah.
But if you get into it too much, you realize that none of it works at all.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, Max. Now, what did you say in your minute, Mariah? That had
I
me
don't know.
hot to
I mean,
trot?
I'd love to talk about Klaus
Yeah,
because
Mariah loves
So
Klaus,
great.
okay,
dude.
so Robert Sheehan, right now,
favorites.
I'm just so impressed by him. Like just
yeah.
because you first
great.
see the character, and it's just kind of like I was like, I don't know how this character's gonna go. He might just be a fucking asshole, you know? But
Yep.
then you just get to know and just like the things that he does with that character, fucking genius, dude.
Genius.
He's
Hilarious.
a fucking and I looked him up today. He's Irish, which
Yeah.
is also
Yep.
really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, but I just thought that he was a genius character.
You know that the first time Klaus came on screen, Michael was Googling that guy.
Not at first.
No.
Really?
Not at first.
No
because
googlies?
I was like, oh, addict, you probably stink and you're gross and look what
You
you're
are not
wearing. And then,
cleanly.
but like, as he like progressed, I was like, oh. And then he obviously had a boyfriend when he went back in time. So that was really nice.
Dave.
Dave.
I want to piggyback on that because Klaus was honestly what hooked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about a character, and this is what I loved about all the characters, but specifically Klaus and number 5, is that there's so much richness to the character that, the first time I saw Klaus, I was like, oh my God, I wonder how they're going to kind of wiggle this into the story and like the role that he'll play, like with the father's death and everybody kind of like.
I want to know what his power was.
Yeah, and he doesn't have he has a power, but it's like that shitty power, like where you're like, yeah, I have powers, but like, it's like being able to like
They're shitty at first.
at first, right? But that mystery,
I know.
of
I love
like,
it. I love it.
yeah, he's got powers, but it's stupid, and you're like, where could that go? And that was one of the things where I saw a lot coming. I did not see where that was coming, where his power at the end
Dude, that was so
unveiled
dope.
to where he can not only see the dead, but reincarnate them.
And
I thought that-
manifest.
and
When his-
manifest in the
Thor's powers.
Yeah.
It was like, wow.
that shit was fucking awesome.
I know.
I
But
called
the whole,
it too.
The whole
That was good.
progression of Klaus, like he's kind of clearing up as everybody else is getting more confused and like, he's
I
like
agree.
coming into reality while
Yeah.
everyone else is kind of losing their grip on
He's getting
reality.
sober.
I thought that shit was awesome.
Yeah.
It
And
was.
the actor, like he stole the show for me.
Stole it.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Absolutely.
made that character so unique. Like, honestly, that character could have made or break this.
Absolutely.
Or broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
I want to back off that.
Okay.
Who made her?
Can we address the Ellen Page in the room?
the Ellen Page in the room?
Yeah. I don't
Let's
like
do-
her.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Okay.
So you don't like her in the show or as an actress, period?
Period. I think she has no personality.
Yeah.
She's just one of those girls that is just kind of like, that's her role. But she's typecasted, which I get. But she could have, it could have been so good. Like when she turned into like the white
White violinist.
Yeah, the white violinist, like
Yeah, that's
whatever
right, yes.
the fuck. Like near the last couple episodes,
Yeah.
and like the door like flew off
Oh,
of her
yeah.
cage and shit.
Yeah.
And she was just like, hey.
Yeah.
Like there was no
kind of stoic.
I wish
Yeah.
there was more. Like show me like Dark Phoenix moment where it was like you know, but there was nothing. It was just swirling winds and white fucking contact eyes, and I was like, this is not what I wanted.
I mean, in the beginning, I wasn't really bothered by her, but there were kind of moments where I definitely she could have made the character have a little more depth.
Yeah,
definitely a little bit more. Yeah,
it made sense for her to act that way because of everything you find out throughout the show. It's like this girl has been not mesmerized, but like hypnotized, or
she's on mood stabilizers.
She's on mood stabilizers, and her fucking sister fucked with her head.
Right.
You know, so it's like, of course you're gonna be this person because you were told that there's nothing special about you. Of course you're gonna be depressed. Yeah. Of course you're gonna be a loner. Of course you're gonna want to like tell all the secrets and shit and write a book, but more depth. I didn't care about her.
Well, the thing is, I think she might be a victim of playing a character a little too well. Because that whole character's point is that they're bland. There's nothing special about them. You're not supposed to notice them.
That's a good point, Max.
And unfortunately, like, I think she's generally a good actress, a decent actress, we'll say. Mm-hmm. And she played that character. Maybe that character played to her strengths as an actress. And that might be a compliment, might not be a compliment.
Right.
I'm not sure. But she's supposed to be like white bread in this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I get it.
No, it's
Wonder bread.
I kind of agree with everybody. Like of all my beef with the show, Ellen Page definitely holds a lot of it. And you know, like she, you know, as a person, you know, whatever, like she's very opinionated, and that honestly has no bearing on my opinion of her as an actress. You know what I mean? But in the show, you know, she is that character, which I'll give you, Max.
Yeah.
But to kind of go with Michael, for me, it was like, okay, you're talking about an empty character, someone who's extremely plain, you know, someone who's kind of the afterthought of everything, familial with her powers or lack thereof, and kind of like her lackluster musician career and like all that stuff. Her acting in that is perfect because it's very plain and there's nothing there, right?
Yeah.
However, when we get the crescendo, right? I needed a totally different personality because, you know, when she links up with the boyfriend whose name was
Leonard
Peabody.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
Leonard.
Oof, that escaped me.
When she gets with Leonard, right, you see her transitioning into, and she stops taking her meds
Because of him.
Because of him,
He stole them.
and she starts transforming. And Ellen Page did a good job with that. But again,
I don't think so, though.
I think it could have been way more explosive.
It came out a little bit.
It did. It started
A
to
little
You see
rosebud
flares of it,
moment.
yeah.
Yeah, like
know?
when she fucking, dude, when her sister shows up, right? And she's like gonna tell her a rumor, right? And she fucking takes the bow and slits her throat. Oh, sick scene. But also afterwards, you know, it was kind of like, what did I do? And I'm like, Ellen, like she's very talented.
Yeah.
She is a very talented actress. Juno, come on. Yeah. But I needed a little more.
A little bit more.
Especially compared to Klaus and
And-
number
and
5
all the other
and
characters
fucking-
even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just
See,
Each-
Allison fell a little flat for me too.
Oh,
but
big time.
That's
She
a
fell
whole
flat.
other thing.
I loved her.
I loved her.
I loved
but
her.
Before we get
Yeah.
into Allison, something you said made me think of it. Is like, yes, she is like the Wonder Bread. I think that helped me not see things to come a little bit. I don't know. Like, it helped me not to be like, oh, she's going to end up being the apocalyptic fucking
She hit the
motherfucker.
foreshadow.
Right.
You know, like, it was like, oh.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
a good
was like,
point.
Oh, so like,
Yeah.
I think that helped me not be
Yeah.
like, called it, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And
Because I
think,
didn't until like the last 3 episodes. I was like, oh.
Yeah, right.
Well, until she killed Leonard, and I was like, it's you.
Yeah.
Like that moment just sealed it. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, here
and
we
I
go.
think one of the marks of like a really good actor or actress is being able to find the depth in those characters that don't really have any depth. So she probably might
That's
have
well
failed
said.
there.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude.
that's getting
Fucking
deep.
Ellen Page, if you need a PR agent or someone to spin shit for you, Max Capper, producer of
Capper.
Flicks and Six, would be happy to do it for
Very
a
happy.
small fee.
Small fee. 10%.
Like
10%.
teeny tiny.
That's a good fee.
Teeny tiny
10%, Ellen. I'm just saying.
She makes money.
Let's. Okay, so as far as characters go, is Klaus our favorite around the
Yes.
board?
Yes.
Yes.
Maxwell,
Yes.
you kind of strike me as a number 5 guy.
Klaus and 5.
I like 5. That fight scene in the diner with him.
Oh my God!
I was like, I
was
watched
great.
it twice.
No way.
Yeah. Because it was so badass. He killed them
was
all with a
great.
butter knife.
Dude,
Yeah, right in the eye.
Dude, and that what I love about number 5 is this kid played a grown up so fucking well.
So
dude.
good.
Oh, wow.
Really well.
So good.
The way he spoke and but even beyond like his lines and dialogue and stuff, like just the way he like walks in and like
Yeah.
pours a drink,
Yeah.
you're like, dude, how does this get, because he's like pouring some scotch and he's like, he's like, Klaus, my brother, is so silly. And, and people are like, what the fuck with this kid drinking, and he's like, you guys are idiots. I'm going, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, that kid is great.
He really was able to like, because if you think about like his last 50 years, he was a grown up that didn't have to really live by any rules. So
Right.
like he comes back as a kid and he has that kind of childlike, like I don't really care about the rules, I don't respect them, but he was mature in a way.
Yeah, interesting.
Wow, Max.
Yeah. Max
You're
is
really
fucking-
getting it. Yeah.
Listen, audience at home, Max fucking went to the gym before he got over here, so he's got fucking. He's
welcome.
pumped up right
Our
now.
minds look dull as fuck.
Yeah.
I know.
And I smell.
I think I didn't notice.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, good.
All right.
I think another one of my probably for me the reason I kind of fired up the show with like the best series since Stranger Things is the fact that so many series will give you so much too soon. They give you all the odds, all the stakes, kind of like right out of the gate, and then it's more of like watching the climax unfold rather than like really fucking tease you until it happens.
There are a lot of teases.
And like with Stranger Things, right? Like it's built the fuck up. So by the time Hopper goes in there and gets the kid and gets out, you're on the fucking edge, dude. You're ready to end it all. You know what I mean? And this show achieved that exact same thing where I'm like, I know, like what a cool plot mechanic of like, hey, the world's going to fucking end in a few days. I have no idea how. And all I know is that we need to stop it.
And I have this eye.
That is such a cool plot. That's a really cool mechanism because no matter what, even if you're not into the show, you have to fucking stick it out because you're like, all right, fine, but how's it go down?
Yeah.
And then by the time we get there, there's so much that we don't know. By episode 8, there's so much that we don't know still, and I really appreciate that. I hate it when they fucking tell you everything in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like the fact that that everybody had their own investments in the plot.
Yeah.
I love that. Like Luther, right? Like, because everybody's got beef with Dad, right? Everybody got beef with the Dad. But what was cool is that each person had different beef, right? And they all figured it out gradually, but nobody figured it out right out of the gate.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And then by the end, it's like one giant message of like, hey, like, listen to your fucking parents. You know what I mean? Like, everybody just listen to Dad. You know what I mean?
I still hate him though.
Well, yeah, totally. Everybody still
a
hates
dick.
him, but I like that by the end, the payoff is like he was a fucking asshole,
But he
and he went
prepared
about
us.
things like totally the wrong way. But like he's just trying to do what he, what he can. Here's a question. Okay, here's a fucking question. What the hell is their dad?
Well, what the fuck? Yeah, with those little
Little spaceships.
and the little jar of sparkly shit.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Remember
those
jar
were
of
spaceships.
sparkly shit.
Okay, Michael, check
I
this out.
thought they were bombs.
Check this
I
out.
thought they were like nuclear.
I thought they were
missiles.
nuclear
Okay,
bombs. Yeah.
check it out, Mike.
Did
You
I
ready?
miss something?
You did.
so.
I think
Yeah.
you did. So there was a scene later in the series, maybe episode 7,
6 or 7,
6
yeah.
or 7-ish, where it cuts to young Reginald when he's,
I think it's
20s.
the opening of the episode.
Yeah, and he's like in.
I did not see this at all.
Yeah, he's in this
You went for a
room.
treat.
Maybe I was
In this
sleeping.
like really fancy room with his wife, you assume, and she like plays violin, right? And he like walks out onto the porch. You know, she's like, "You have to go."
She's clearly dying.
She's dying.
Dying.
And she's like, "You have to go." And he's like, "Fine, but I'm sad about it." And then he has this little jar of these little
Oh, I remember now.
Yay!
I got it. They're
Yeah.
the little gold, little
little
floaty
gold
things.
like, you know, Groot's
Embryos.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, Groot's thing in Guardians.
I thought they
I
were
was wondering
embryos.
if like they somehow
Embryos.
went and made all the ladies pregnant that
That's what
had
I
those
thought.
children.
And
like,
they're their children.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
something
that.
like that.
But
He-
what is
he-
he? Because he's not an Earthling.
You don't think so?
Or he's an Earthling from another time.
And he
But
came
when
back
he
and,
walked
like,
out onto the porch,
modified.
all those rocket ships take off.
or bombs.
see,
Either they're nuclear warheads.
you would say walk down on the porch. I thought that was a mirror. He was looking into a mirror that was showing him something. I didn't realize that was a.
Oh my god! If
He
it's a
It was like
mirror.
a.
He was
I,
in
I
a
wouldn't go as
different
far as saying
reality.
porch, but it looked like a balcony.
yeah,
Little-
balcony.
You know.
Oh, I just took it as like a mirror. He like could see.
Yeah,
shit
there
through.
were rockets flying off. I don't know. Was this
I
like
thought those were
Cold
nuclear-
War
yeah.
or something?
Well, and
nuclear missiles.
we clearly see that he time travels, right? Because he ends up back in Brooklyn. Or wherever they
Wherever
are
it is,
in
we don't
New
know.
York or the Bronx
Yeah,
or
and he, like,
something,
he buys
and he
the
buys the umbrella store, right? Here's why this show did not get an A+ with me. Beyond Ellen Page, beyond the other sister, Allison. Thank you.
What about Cha Cha?
I love being fucked with. Okay, like the ending of Avengers, Infinity War. Like, give me that shit, dude. Fuck with me. Make me wait 5 years, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind like being left like fucked up, right? However, the monstrosity of this cliffhanger was a little fucking much for me. Like it's very bold. Like, obviously it's gonna get renewed,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
It hasn't yet. So we
They'd
don't
be
even know
stupid
when
not to.
Of course they're going to, but
Yeah.
it's a little fucking presumptuous
Yeah.
to leave you with
that without a renewal.
it's like when you watch Lost, right? And it's like, what's in the fucking hatch, right? And then they open the hatch and you're like, oh great, there's like I have fucking no answers and 5,000 more questions.
Yeah.
You know, so
never seen it.
you never watched Lost?
Nope.
So all this just went way over you.
Yeah, but I get where
Does
you're
anybody
going.
watch Lost?
Watched
yeah.
some of it.
Does anyone know about the hatch?
I know
Yes,
about the
I know what
hatch,
you're
but-
talking about.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh, fuck.
yes.
I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to scare
No,
you.
it's all right. I was just like, oh god, I see
get the
this
premise
reference
of what
being
you're saying,
wasted.
though.
I mean,
But yeah, so it's like I love the cliffhanger, but like resolve a little more for me, please.
There were multiple story elements that they didn't even touch on, and I assume they're leaving it for like to answer
Season
this
2.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
Give me a couple.
There are 43 of these kids, but we only know of
Can't
7.
wait.
7 of them.
I know.
This show could go on forever.
Forever.
And I hope it does.
Oh, me too. I hope we run 10 seasons of this shit.
And it's
Yeah.
interesting how the plot of this apocalypse involves none of those other people
that we know of.
that we know of.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just in. I assume it's New York.
Yeah.
It looked like New York.
I felt like the lady, the handler.
Loved her.
Oh my god.
I love
dude.
her. That woman as an actress. I love
Mom?
her.
Yes. No, the
No.
handler.
No, the time
The
travel. lady.
one who-
Oh, yeah,
dude,
she is-
she was
I loved her.
fierce.
Yeah, she was great.
And you know, like, not to be crass, but
He'd hit it.
yeah,
You'd hit
sorry,
it.
babe, but I would.
It's fine.
She's pretty.
I don't think I would, but
You wouldn't?
no.
I'm
All right.
agreeing with you.
You would?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, cool. But not if you're representing Ellen Page,
Yeah, no.
because you're going to be busy at work.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Or not.
Call
Or
me.
not, right? But
Pretty easy sell.
anyways, I digress. The handler kind of alluded to there being others, right?
Yeah.
So she
Right.
knows, but like, and it's like, yes, I love the ending, like the moon shit, like, oh my god, dude. But the best part for me at least, chime in if you agree. The best part was when fucking Klaus had his triumph,
Oh no!
right?
Yeah.
When he brought number 4.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Dude,
Ben.
Total
we
goosebumps.
fucking, me and Mariah were watching this shit flipping out, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was so fired up because it's like nobody was listening to Klaus.
Yeah.
Because he's the fucking crazy
He was like
junkie.
outside.
Yeah. And
It's
then
like
he's
hanging
like,
out.
He's like, all right, let's go handle this, you know, and then like goes in and shit is popping off, you know, and they're like, dude, you just got to get the fuck out of here. And then the moment happens And it was so victorious. There was so much triumph for that character. And because there was so much loss and because we just rooted for him so hard when it happened, it was the best fucking payoff. Oh,
They're all
my
like,
God.
Ben?
Yeah, dude. They're like, Ben. But for us
So good.
and for Klaus, it was like, oh, yeah, it's Ben.
Yeah.
Right?
Been here the whole
Now
time.
they can finally listen to him and be like, all right.
And
What
now
you
they're
got,
like,
Klaus?
oh, shit, dude. Like, we should probably listen to Klaus.
Yeah.
And I love that redemption.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, because none of his brothers or sisters knew what he was going through when he was like held captive by Cha-Cha and Hazel.
Yeah,
Right.
dude.
He has like 30 like dead
Yeah.
people surrounded that they've killed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when you,
He starts to like understand what he
Yeah.
can do.
yeah,
right.
and you discover that that's why he uses drugs. I mean, it took me a really long time to understand
Oh, I
that.
got that.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on it.
I got
but-
it when I got that first flash of like, I think he's like in the bathtub or something, and he like immediately smokes a joint. I'm like, oh, that's your thing.
I
Yeah.
love that mechanic.
Yeah.
I love that Ellen Page is unknowingly suppressing her power while Klaus is knowingly suppressing his.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's what I mean with the characters. Everybody's on their own hero's journey, you know, and we just get to watch everyone kind of slowly figure it out. I'm for one. What about Luther? We haven't even said anything about Luther.
I liked him. I mean, he's just a jolly little weirdo, you
Yeah.
know,
Little.
like big weirdo.
It's an it's like big gangsters
I
and their
know.
name's like Little Timmy.
I know.
Yeah.
It's an ironic thing.
He's like kind of seems like a teddy bear, but also is
I mean,
scary.
he's
too,
the one who
but
put the
yeah.
record on and like got the
Yeah.
whole like dance vibe going throughout the whole house.
Right. Mhm.
Like he's like the big brother.
Yeah.
That
The
wants
big
to keep
brother.
the peace.
He's
you
like
know?
a sweet soul, but
I loved him. He's
yeah.
hot.
He's
He
hot?
is- You should. I watched a little interview. He's English or
Yes.
British, whatever.
He's British and
hot.
hot.
You need Smash Mike?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, but he's. I
You'd
mean,
Smash?
yes.
What about you, Max?
He's
Yeah,
a
probably.
good looking guy.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Yeah, he's good.
So is Diego.
Oh, Diego.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about fucking Diego.
Oh, Diego.
Let's stick with Luther.
We haven't really talked about Allison either.
Yeah. Max, you had something about Luther. I could see it.
He's on the same level as Ellen Page with me. Like, I just found him really boring
I
as
can
a
see
character. The moments where, like, his motivation with his dad when he finds out that he was basically marooned
Doing it for nothing.
on the moon for nothing. It just didn't hit with me.
Me either.
I agree.
Me either. Yeah, I thought like the unveiling of you were on the moon for no fucking reason, or so we think.
Who knows?
His discovery of that should have been like, you know, like Jim Carrey in the Truman Show. Like, you know, when you find out everything you've been living is a total lie.
Yeah.
And it
Right.
also shouldn't have been a surprise. Because he put so much faith in his dad, but look what his dad did to all these other characters that
Right.
he knew about.
Right.
When I think part of it was denial.
Yeah.
Right. Which I, you know, as like a psychological aspect, I'm totally on board with. But I felt like when he found out I'm on the moon for no fucking reason, they gave that so little time.
Yeah, it was very
that
quick.
Not even like Luther couldn't process for one. Therefore, we couldn't process with him.
Yeah.
And so that's what kind of makes me feel like maybe there's more.
And
to
they also
that.
take some real leaps in logic after he finds that out with his actions, like going to the club, taking the drugs, losing his virginity.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Go
Right.
Luther.
Yeah,
But-
that's kind of how I saw him reacting to it. Was that because he had two reactions, right? Because there was that one beautiful, glorious day where everyone finally is about to make all these discoveries that we want. You remember that part?
Yes.
And like she's just about to find the notebook that
Yes.
you know calls like Leonard out. And, yeah, and then they and then they fucking
I was so
number
mad.
5 comes on in. And that's why they fucking cock tease you.
Yep.
They totally cock tease you about that. Yeah.
So mad.
That
about
scene was
Yeah.
fucking brilliant.
It was
It's
great.
like, oh, we're making great progress, and they're like, "Fuck you, no,
Fuck
you're
you,
not."
I know.
You know?
I mean, I loved. I mean,
Yeah,
in that way, I was like, "You motherfuckers!"
And the way they
I mean,
showed,
well played.
they just rewound the episode.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Oh god, that is brutal, dude.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, because it was what the day that would be or something like that.
yeah.
The title of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that is a perfect
God.
example of retconning.
There you go.
Oh,
Retconning.
okay.
That is
Yep.
exactly what
That
retconning
whole
is. And that was
episode.
a great way to do it.
Yes. Very
Yeah,
good.
Some
Perfect.
ways, not so good.
Yeah. So
mean,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I lost what I was
but
going to say
then,
about
but then
Luther.
I mean, so he deals with it but then he deals with it again in the second day of that day by just getting wasted and being a fucking asshole, and then going to the club as a furry, like, right?
I mean, it's essentially what he was.
He was.
Mike, can you weigh in here? Technically speaking, is he a bear?
No.
Oh, wait. Well, no, those are two different things.
Oh,
Furry and
sorry.
bear.
Different things.
No.
What's furry again?
Furry is like a culture.
Yeah, people who dress
Up
in
like
animal
animals
costumes.
and like to like frolic and like do things together. But a bear is just a classification of a gay man that has a specific body type. Moving on.
I'm just trying to get it all straight over here.
Well, I
that's
mean,
all.
he has fucking monkey DNA in him. Like, of course he's going to be hairy.
Right.
But besides that,
Why didn't it change his face?
huh? I mean, I'm glad it didn't.
I think
It bugged me.
That would have been weird.
Why didn't it change his legs?
Or his legs.
I mean, it's just.
I don't know.
I don't-
He did get it like right here, so maybe it can only go so far.
I
Fair
think
enough, fair
like
enough.
for whatever reason
That was my thought.
Yeah, I felt like when it happened, it wasn't like Beast, right? Where it's like "Brr, my whole
Right.
body.
And he was laying there for a long time.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he grew a full fucking like 4-inch long beard.
yeah.
Wispy
I
beard.
feel like he shaves often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first scene, you see him like, I thought he was going to be like an old man because like
Yeah.
in the first scene, his beard is like white and brown and gray
Right.
looking shit. I don't know. It's weird.
You had a hot point though.
Well, I just thought it was kind of funny that like his whole character, this is why it kind of falls a little flat for me, is literally about the moon. Everything that he talks about, moon. And there was a funny meme I saw the other day. It was like Klaus. Oh man, shit! I just stubbed my toe. What about the moon?
Oh
Says
my
Luther, or something
God.
like that. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
just so stupid.
I like
yeah,
that.
and it was
just
only
like-
I
4
like that.
years of what is he,
Moon.
28
It was
years
just-
old?
Yeah.
Moon.
I mean,
Right.
maybe that's just his sole
'cause
purpose.
they're all,
He felt like it was
and I
his
love
sole
that they're all
purpose.
my age. They were all born in 1989. So it's like, whoop, they're all my
Me
age. So it's like a
too.
lot. They didn't look like they were my age, but that's besides the point.
So I think that's a good place to end our video. I think that's a good initial take on the Umbrella Academy. We're going to keep riffing on this thing on our audio channel. So if you're on iTunes, if you're on Stitcher, go over to the show, check us out. We're going to keep riffing on this thing. Yeah.
I mean, watch it.
Yeah,
watch it. And another thing that I just wanted to say was just that, the shots were all like, they're beautiful. They're well thought out. Like, it wasn't just like some show where it's like, all right, hurry up, put this together,
No.
let's film. We got to run a time crunch. It's like, no, this shit was fucking
thought
thought out. It was beautiful. Like the music was really great. The music
music's
was
so
great.
good.
Like the little
talk about
things that
that.
the characters do that just keep you just totally enchanted with it and just curious and I kind of
you
had
in.
to go slow with watching it because I was
Yeah.
like, all right, you want to binge watch this, take your time,
Yep.
just breathe, don't overdo it because this is all you're gonna get. So
Yeah.
but
Yep.
yeah, it's just
And we're going to get into all that.
yeah.
So see us on iTunes, see us on Stitcher. Make sure you like and subscribe the channel. Hit the bell for Michael so that you're regularly notified on what to watch or what not to watch.
Yep.
On the sea of options that is called Netflix. So we'll catch you guys next time.